Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. For today's video, we're going to take an up-close and personal, in-depth look at the all-new 2016 Audi A3 Sportback E-Tron. As always, this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the A3. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, go over the performance data, take a thorough road test, and show you many of the unique aspects throughout the interior as well as exterior. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on in and get started. A smart key access system comes standard on the A3. You can just keep the key fob in your pocket and use the touch sensors on the door handles to lock and unlock the vehicle. Our tester is a Premium Plus, which starts at $42,000. It's finished in Mizano Red Pearl, a $575 optional color, paired to a black leather interior. We'll discuss more details regarding optional features and pricing as we go through the video. To start, make sure you have the key fob within the interior, then simply put your foot on the brake and hit the console mounted button to go. The A3 features electromechanical speed-sensitive rack and pinion power steering with a ratio of 15.3:1 and a 35.8-foot turning diameter. It's routed through a sporty 3-spoke steering wheel with grip bolsters at 10 and 2 and comfortable thumb rests. The spokes and multifunction controls are highlighted by subtle gloss black trim and satin chrome brightwork. Despite carrying some extra weight over a typical A3 with the hybrid equipment, the Sportback is a real joy to drive. It feels and behaves like a proper Audi with lively steering that's both responsive and fairly communicative. Regardless if you're having fun through the curves or taking it on a long trip, the A3 is a well-rounded little car overall with smooth road manners and a level of dynamism that I imagine would be hard to beat in this segment. The e-tron sends its power to the front wheels through Audi's S-Tronic 6-speed dual-clutch transmission specifically designed for this application. I love the shifter, very sporty and attractively designed with leather wrapping and satin brightwork. The transmission incorporates the e-tron's disc-shaped electric motor and sophisticated separating clutch pack that allows the car to seamlessly switch between engine and electric power or a combination of both. There aren't any paddle shifters unless you opt for the $1,150 Sport package, but you're still able to change gears manually via the console shifter. The S-Tronic is a responsive and fun transmission, not unlike what you'd expect out of a Volkswagen GTI or Audi TT. It's a welcomed addition to a segment filled with CVTs. There's even a sport mode for the transmission if you pull back on the shifter while in drive to S. It causes the hybrid system to engage earlier for more combined power when driving spiritedly. If you let off the throttle while in sport mode, the system will work to maximize energy recuperation. On the other hand, if you're just in drive and let off the throttle, the hybrid system decouples the powertrain from the wheels, basically switching it into a glide mode, maximizing EV range without the worry of parasitic losses due to friction and engine braking. Audi's Drive Select system offers more general driver controllable modes consisting of comfort, auto, and dynamic settings, although in this case it only seemed to really alter the steering firmness. The hybrid powertrain is able to be cycled through 4 different modes via the EV button in the dash. EV or electric vehicle mode allows for 100% electric driving. As long as you have enough charge, you can drive in EV mode up to 80 miles an hour. By selecting hybrid, the car will automatically choose between gas, electric, or a combination of the two based on which is more efficient or needed at a given moment. If you wanted to preserve the battery's current charge for later use, selecting hold battery will lock out the electric motor so the gas engine becomes the primary form of propulsion. If you're driving longer distances, such as highway commutes, you can select charge battery, which causes the engine to act as a generator to increase the engine recuperation if the battery becomes depleted. If your drive is long enough, you can actually replete the battery's full charge without having to plug it in, an ideal situation if you're traveling between cities. The car almost always starts in electric mode except in extreme conditions or if the battery charge is very low. The only thing different from the driver's seat is a new instrument cluster that features a power meter. A digital tachometer is located within the driver's information display. The power meter shows the percentage of available power that you're using at a given moment, as well as throttle position relative to efficiency and whether the system is regenerating energy. This goes the same regardless if you're on electric, gas, or a combination of the two. What I found particularly interesting was the boost feature. Let's say you're just using electricity, or just gas. When floored past the threshold point that's built into the throttle pedal, the car defaults to hybrid mode since you are wanting more power, and the power meter then moves past the 100% mark to the boost indicator. At this point, the car is combining electricity and gas to generate the maximum amount of power and acceleration, giving the car that extra boost. All of this sounds complicated, but Audi did a great job with making everything user-friendly. A lot of this happens in the background, but it's quite cool to hear how it all works. It's even more impressive how smoothly everything comes together to deliver surprisingly good performance.
So let's go ahead and flip on the automatic LED headlamps, rear fog lamps, as well as the hazards. All four windows are fully automatic. And we'll go ahead and check out the exterior, shall we?
Following the introduction of the new A3 sedan and cabriolet last year, Audi is jumping headfirst into the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle market with an all-new offering for 2016. Known as the E-Tron, it's Audi's first production vehicle to feature this kind of technology, but at the same time it also marks the return of the A3 Sportback. Regardless of whether you call it a hatchback, mini wagon, or a sportback as Audi describes it, the 5-door, 5-passenger compact car brings a lot of premium style and substance to the segment that, above all else, is also a lot of fun to drive and is quite practical. From 2006, when Audi first brought the A3 to our shores, to when it was dropped from the lineup after 2013, the A3 was only available as a 5-door, even though Audi offered a wider selection of body styles and engines for the European market, including high-performance S3 and RS3 variants. Despite now having the sedan and cabriolet to choose from, including an S3 sedan, the North American market is still limited in what it receives. At least at the time of this video, the Sportback is only available as the E-Tron, which, by the way, is a pretty clever name and carries a certain amount of cool factor with it. Starting at $37,900, the E-Tron is available in 3 trim levels: the base premium, our $42,000 premium plus tester, and the $46,800 prestige. With the $2,600 technology package, this example stickers for around $45,000. The concept, like other plug-in hybrids, is to have a greater degree of flexibility when it comes to your daily commute. It combines an internal combustion engine with an electric motor and battery pack to maximize efficiency while being able to drive on pure electricity for about 20 miles or so, depending on your driving behavior. Even though the Sportback doesn't have any additional powertrains to choose from at this time, by offering the E-Tron in hatchback form over the sedan, it allowed for the seamless integration of the battery pack underneath the rear seat without compromising passenger space or cargo capacity. As a fan of wagons and hatchbacks, the A3 E-Tron is a pretty attractive little car. I love the crisp lines and attention to detail with the bodywork. Aluminum roof rails are available for an additional cost. It looks sporty and high quality, fitting in very well with Audi's current design language as if it were a shrunken down A4. My favorite elements include the polished side window trim, standard panoramic roof, the line that extends down the body intersecting with the front fenders to connect the headlamps and tail lamps, not to mention all of the E-Tron's specific styling touches. Compared to other A3 Sportbacks offered overseas, the single-frame grille is specific to the E-Tron, featuring closer spaced chrome horizontal slats. The sporty S-line front fascia also features unique intakes. Full LED headlamps are standard on all trims aside from the premium. There's S-line side sills that stick out further, giving it a more planted stance, and a unique rear fascia with hidden exhaust outlet. Subtle chrome accents decorate the front and rear fascias. Probably the best thing about this car is that aside from the E-Tron badging around the exterior, it looks like any regular A3, just a handsome sporty hatchback that happens to be a hybrid. The E-Tron is available with 3 wheel sizes ranging from 16 to 18 inches in diameter. Our tester's 17 by 7.5 inch 15-spoke turbine wheels are standard on the Premium Plus. They're wrapped in 225/45 all-season tires. The brakes consist of 12.3 inch internally ventilated front discs and 10.7 inch solid rear discs. The E-Tron's brake energy regeneration system captures energy from the brakes in the form of heat to help replenish the battery. They didn't feel all that different from a conventional brake setup. If anything, they're a little touchier, but you get used to that quickly. All in all, they deliver good feedback and a solid, predictable feel in both normal and high-pressure stops. In fact, the regen system provides an additional measure of stopping power by facilitating the brakes through other friction measures. You can notice this especially in EV mode when you let off the throttle. Without hitting the brake, you can tell the car is slowing itself down while capturing as much energy as possible. The system is so effective that in most mild to moderate corners, you don't even have to hit the brakes. Just coast through and the car does enough for you. Really quite fascinating. All A3s ride on Volkswagen Group's modular transverse matrix platform, which we talked about in previous videos. The body structure incorporates high-strength, hot stamped steels, allowing for the use of lighter and thinner components while boosting integrity and safety. The hood and front fenders are made from lightweight aluminum. The suspension is fully independent, featuring McPherson struts in front with lower wishbones and an aluminum subframe. Out back is a 4-link suspension with separate shocks and springs to independently manage lateral and longitudinal forces. Tubular anti-roll bars can also be found front and rear. Of course, the hybrid system does add some weight to the car, which could lead to increased understeer tendencies when pushed really hard through a corner, but truth be told, I thought the e-tron handled great. Like you'd expect from an Audi, the car feels planted and well dialed in, combined with responsive steering and suspension tuning that's sporty but isn't too firm. Out on the highway and even on some rougher roads, I was surprised by how good the ride quality was. Even though the A3 is the entry-level Audi for North America, the car feels anything but cheap. Overall length is 169.8 inches with a width of 77.4 inches and a height of 56.1 inches. Wheelbase is 103.5 inches, while curb weight for the e-tron is around 3,616 pounds. The e-tron's hybrid powertrain consists of an all-aluminum, turbocharged 1.4-liter transverse 4-cylinder that's coupled to a permanent magnet AC synchronous electric motor. The latter feeds off an 8.8 kWh 96-cell liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery pack mounted underneath the rear seat. It's a similar setup that's found in the new Volkswagen Jetta Hybrid, only the Audi uses a larger battery pack for greater combined horsepower and torque. The engine features dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, dual variable valve timing, direct fuel injection, and a compression ratio of 10:1. The exhaust manifold is integrated into the head to deliver greater response with using a smaller single-scroll turbocharger as well as faster warm-up on cold starts. The intercooler is integrated with the induction pipe. There's no alternator as the electronics are powered by the hybrid systems, and the electric motor also serves as the engine's starter motor. There's even an electric air conditioning compressor that allows for AC operation in EV mode while the engine is off. By itself, the 4-cylinder develops 150 horsepower between 5,000 and 6,000 RPM and 184 pound-feet of torque between 1,600 and 3,500 RPM. The electric motor is able to generate 102 horsepower and 243 pound-feet of torque, leading to a combined output of 204 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. Accelerating to 60 miles an hour is expected to take 7.6 seconds, and top speed is electronically limited 130 miles an hour. Performance in full EV mode is more leisurely. I'd estimate it to take between 10 and 11 seconds to hit 60. The most I was ever able to drive in EV mode from full to depletion was around 20 miles, give or take a few miles or so. The instant availability of the electric system's torque is always nice to have, but the real performance benefits come when the two systems work together, supplementing low-end power for peppy acceleration around town and responsive acceleration on the highway. The EV benefits are really handy for short commutes and city driving. When the battery is depleted, the car reverts to gasoline power like any normal car. Of course, with the EV modes like we talked about earlier, you can prioritize charging, hold the charge, or even leave the hybrid system to do its own thing as needed. In comparison, the Jetta Hybrid's 1.1 kWh 60-cell battery pack adds just 27 horsepower and 114 pound-feet of torque to the mix for a combined output of 170 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. Peak torque in that application is actually limited by the Jetta's 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox. As we discussed earlier, the e-tron uses a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission, which I imagine is somewhat similar to the one used in the Volkswagen GTI and Audi TT, obviously customized for this application. While Audi's system is going to deliver superior performance, it won't necessarily match the Jetta Hybrid's fuel economy of 42 miles to a gallon in the city and 48 on the highway. Premium fuel is recommended and is held within a 10.7-gallon tank. Fuel economy estimates range between 33 miles to a gallon in the city and 37 on the highway, with an average of 35 miles to a gallon. When driving in EV mode, economy is estimated to be equivalent to 83 miles to a gallon. The charge port is cleverly located behind the Audi logo in the front grille. Twist a small plastic dial and the cover pops out and moves to the left. When using a 240-volt outlet, charging a depleted battery should take around 2 hours or so, or up to 5 hours on a standard 120-volt household plug. The battery is designed to last the life of the car and comes with an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty. When you plug in the car, you also have the option of instantaneous charging or set it on a timer. As we first saw in the S3 sedan I tested a while back, Audi did a fantastic job with the new interior of the A3. It's a more upscale and modern environment than its predecessor, with significant amounts of soft-touch plastics and padding throughout. Our tester's 3D optic decorative inlays are a visual treat and add a pretty cool design element across the doors and dash. Leather seating upholstery is standard, as are rain-sensing wipers and a panoramic glass sunroof. The interior is available with black, titanium gray, or chestnut brown leather on all trim levels, as well as 2 seating options, the standard ones that we have here and a more aggressive set that comes with the available sport package. Both the driver and passenger side seats are fully powered with 4-way power lumbar adjustment. They're also pretty comfortable. The standard seats don't have a ton of lateral support, but there's enough across the top and the bottom to keep things sporty. The steering wheel is manual tilting, telescoping. Our tester features 3-stage heated seats for the driver and passenger, and the seatbelts are adjusting. The headrests are adjusting as well, both vertically and horizontally. As we discussed earlier, the A3 in general is engineered to be a safe car with tons of high-strength hot stamped steel located throughout the structure. There's also plenty of airbags throughout, including seat-mounted airbags, side curtain airbags, as well as knee airbags for both the driver and passenger. I love the dash, which appears to float over the center console while angling all of the controls towards the driver. The glove box is lock-in and offers a good amount of storage space. It's lined in felt and houses a module that contains a CD player as well as 2 SD card slots and a SIM card slot. The circular air vents and the overall layout and how everything kind of flows into the door panels reminds me of a less extreme version of the new Audi TT. It doesn't have as much tech like the digital instrument cluster or the climate controls integrated within the air vents, but the premium look and feel carries over. Even though the A3 is the smallest, most affordable model in Audi's current portfolio, it still brings top-notch build quality for the class, feeling very solid and well made. An all-black headliner is available as a no-cost option.
So let's go ahead and see how she sounds, both sitting still and on the road. So let's go ahead and shut her up.
Our tester features the standard 180-watt 10-speaker sound system, including a subwoofer and a 6-channel amplifier. You can also opt for the premium Bang & Olufsen 5.1-channel surround sound system with 14 speakers, a 15-channel amplifier, and a total of 705 watts. The standard system was more than enough unless you're really desiring more of a punch. Despite the difference in output, the standard system is surprisingly powerful sounding in both bass and treble. We've covered the Audi MMI system in previous reviews, so if you want to check that out more in depth, click the links in the top right hand corner of the video. It features relatively easy ergonomics that just take a minute to get used to. The controller in the center console features a combination of toggle buttons and a rotary dial that features a touchpad on top so it can receive written commands and the like.
All of the pillars are wrapped in soft cloth, your side curtain airbags, grip handles up top, and padded visors. You also have LED illuminated vanity mirrors. The rear view mirror is auto dimming and features a compass off to the far right. And up top you have more LED interior illumination and reading lamps, hands-free Bluetooth microphones, as well as the controls for the fully automatic sunroof. Continuing down the center stack, there's a bank of toggles, like we talked about earlier. To the left, you have your drive mode select switch, the different EV modes, parking sensors, hazards, traction control, as well as raising the screen up and down. In the very bottom, this one features a dual-zone electronic automatic climate control system, with your fan speed in the middle, temperature to either side, different zones, front and rear defrost, as well as 3-stage heated seats for both the driver and passenger. Coming across the center console, there's a brush pattern that kind of flows over the sides, adding a nice bit of contrast. Of course, your MMI controls, the electronic parking brake, and a padded center console. Houses your media input and a 12-volt power outlet. The A3 does not have any USB ports, so the only way you can plug in your iPod or iPhone is through the supplied cable. You can also raise this up a little bit for better comfort, pull it all the way back and lower it to release it. As far as the steering wheel on the right hand side, you have your volume through that rotary knob there, changing the different media source, voice controls, and repeating navigation commands if you had them active.
Route guidance is not active.
Help.
Many functions of the MMI can be operated quickly and easily with the speech dialogue system. You can interrupt the voice output of the system at any time by pressing the talk button in order to say a new command.
Cancel. On the left-hand side, you have your driver information system that shows up in that little digital display there. The arrow buttons go between the different menus, from vehicle settings to media, telephone, and navigation. To the right, you have your wipers. To the left, high beams, parking lights, and turn signals. And the very bottom is cruise control. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and shut her down. And we'll check out the back seat. Alright, so back seat of the Audi A3 Sportback. Like the front, it's a very roomy, very comfortable environment. The build quality is excellent. There's a lot of soft touch material across the upper door panels, and everything feels very tight and solid. Especially going down the road, it's very quiet. Backseat comfort is actually a lot more than I was expecting it to be. The seats aren't too firm. There's a lot of give in the bottom cushion, good back support, not a whole lot of lateral support, but you do have this big padded armrest across the middle right here, which is really nice. In the middle, you also have storage as well as 2 pop-out cup holders. Right behind here is a handy trunk pass-through that you can fold down if you need to stick some longer items through. As far as interior room, I'm 5'10" with a comfortable seating position for myself in front. I probably have about 3.5 inches of leg space and maybe 2.5 inches of head space. If you sit in the middle, obviously the A3 can sit up to 5 people, you lose a little bit of headroom, maybe about half an inch or so. Leg space isn't too bad. There's a big drivetrain hump right here, so you have to kind of straddle it a little bit. So the biggest problem though is going to be shoulder space, not really leg space, but it's definitely a nice feature to have. As far as amenities, there's good storage in the bottom door pockets, 2 storage nets on the back of there. You have 2 coat hooks on the B-pillars and 2 up here, along with grip handles and LED reading lamps in the headliner. So let's go ahead and check out the cargo space out back.
The Sportback boasts the highest storage capacity in the A3 lineup, making it the most practical and usable vehicle when it comes to hauling larger items. Behind the seats there's 13.6 cubic feet, fold to 60-40 split seats, and expands to 39.6 cubic feet. Even without the seats folded, there's enough cargo space to carry 2 medium-sized suitcases. There's also a couple cargo tie-downs and a removable privacy cover along with LED illumination. By mounting the e-tron's battery pack under the rear seat and moving the further reinforced fuel tank rearward, Audi was able to maintain the Sportback's cargo space. Although the reshuffling of components means there's no spare tire, but Audi does include a repair kit that's stowed in one of the trunk side panels.
Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the 2016 Audi A3 Sportback E-Tron. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care, guys.